connected to these services. Moving on, Vice President Kashim Shettima would attend the second United Nations Food System Summit in Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital. The summit would hold from July 27 to July 29, his spokesman Stanley Walcher said on Sunday. Already the Vice President has departed Abuja for the East African country, where he is representing Nigeria. The high-level summit, convened in collaboration with the governments of Ethiopia, Italy and the United Nations, will bring together world leaders to assess progress since the inaugural 2021 edition and to chart pathways to build resilient, inclusive and sustainable global food systems. Governor Monday Okpebholo has announced plans to commence the commissioning of various completed projects across the state. At a rally in Igwebe local government area, Governor Okpebholo expressed gratitude to APC members and the people of Igwebe, highlighting the growing momentum of his administration. The rally saw defectors from the People's Democratic Party join the APC, including Eugene Uneboho, sitting member representing Igwebe constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly, Felix Omosili, a two-time council chairman and former PDP state secretary, and a host of others. Governor Monday Okpebholo attributed the influx of defectors to his administration's growing momentum, pledging to continue with his developmental agenda for the good of the state and the well-being of its people. The rally was also attended by prominent APC chieftain, including State Chairman Jarrett Tenebe, Deputy State Chairman Sylvester Aibubu, Retired General Cecile Isehiabe, among others. Class of 1999 governors, President Bola Tinubu has played host to his peers, a class of 1999 governors who visited him at the presidential villa in Abuja. The class of 1999 governors urged the president to establish cottage industries across 1999 Nigeria's 774 local government councils as a way of reducing economic hardship and unemployment. Abuja correspondent Ayetutu Olufohai brings the details of the meeting. Of 99 governors are the first elected set of state executives following the country's return to civilian rule in 1999. They were led on the visit by former governor of Edo State, Lucky Igbeneghu. The other governors are James Ibori Delta, Niyi Adebayo Ekiti, Adamu Maazu Bauchi, Joshua Dariye Plateau, Victor Atta Akwa Ibom, and Adamu Alero Kebbi. Other governors in the delegation are Sam Egu Ebonyi, Jale Nyame Taraba, Buni Haruna Adamawa, Saminu Turaki Jigawa, Donald Duke Cross River, and George Akume Benue. President Bola Tinubu, who is part of the class of 99 governors, having been elected governor of Lagos State under the platform of the Alliance for Democracy AD, hosted the governors in a closed-door meeting where national issues, particularly security, economic hardship, and food security, were discussed. After the meeting, former governor of Edo State, Lucky Igbeneghu, commended President Tinubu for being receptive to their views and committed to sustaining an open-door policy for continued engagement on national development.
Glad that Mr. President received that warmly, and we spoke basically about the security and the situation of the nation, the economy, and of course agriculture. The president showed his concern about these various issues that we came to discuss with him, and we also prefer our solutions about how we can go about bringing about succor to the people.
The former governor also expressed shades on other issues discussed with the president.
She told him that without security there can be no progress, there can be no stability. And secondly, the economy, of course, needs to be stabilized by ensuring the foreign exchange remains stable. What is most important was let's create industries, especially cottage industries, that can employ people rather than just giving out palliatives. We employed on him to try as much as possible to create cottage industries in all the local governments of the Federation where people can be employed. Because if you give palliative to somebody today, what happens tomorrow? If he has 5,000 in the morning, about lunchtime or dinner time, what is he going to do? 5,000 cannot buy much. So I thought these are part of the really hard discussions we had with Mr. President. And he agreed with us to say yes, he's going to look into it.
This is the second visit of the class of 99 governors to President Tinubu since he assumed office. Their first meeting was shortly after his inauguration in 2023. From Abuja, Ayetutu Alufohai, EBS News.
The Edo State House of Assembly is set to resume plenary on Monday, July 28, 2025 by 10 a.m. A press statement signed by the House Public Relations Officer, Odiahi Paul, stated that the session, which marks the start of the third session second quarter, will held at the hallowed chambers of the Chief Anthony Enahuru Complex in Benin City. The House had been on recess since June 25 and all legislative activities are expected to resume in full. You can watch EBS on Starter Channel 113, GoTV Channel 141 and Terrestrial Channel 45. For the latest news and information, be sure to visit our website at ebsng.com. Join the conversation and listen live at ebsng.com/radio. Subscribe to EBS on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at EBS Benin. This news is reaching you live from EBS Radio Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. The news written shortly after this time out.
The state government has taken a bold stand against crime. The governor, Senator Monday Okporo, has signed into law the Kidnapping Prohibition Amendment Law 2025, bringing stricter penalties to eliminate kidnapping in our state. The law provides death penalty for convicted kidnappers and accomplices with their properties rented or owned, confiscated and destroyed. Following the Governor Okporo's zero tolerance for crime, the Secret Court and Similar Activities Prohibition Law 2025 is now in effect. Sponsors of secret court activities shall face 21 years in prison, handlers of cultists 10 years imprisonment as property demolition awaits you. Anyone convicted for court-related killings shall also face the full wrath of the law, which is death penalty. Beware, crime will not be tolerated anywhere in Edo State. Report suspected criminal activities around your neighborhood today. Edo must be safe. Edo must be great. Truly, a new Edo has risen. This message is brought to you by the Edo State Government.
Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is the news at dawn. Moving on. It is often said that a husband is the crown of every woman, and naturally one might expect women to be rather proud of their other halves and show them off more often. But interestingly, a good number of married women seem to prefer sharing adorable snaps of their children rather than their spouses on social media. This curious trend caught the eye of our intrepid reporter, Benedict Okate, who hit the street of Benin City to find out what is really going on. Here's what some locals have to say.
Marriage, as we know, is a wonderful thing built on choice and mutual admiration. Ideally, couples would want to shout from the rooftops about their love. And it appears some wives are more enthusiastic about sharing sweet photos of their children than of their other half. We decided to ask some of the women in Benin City about this funny little phenomenon and hear what they think is behind it.
They don't like to post their husband because of the other one outside, so that they will not slash their husband. They don't even want to talk about their marriage. For me, I rather post my children because
sitting in Abuja has rejected the attempt by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to set aside the judgment directing and compelling it to investigate and prosecute perpetrators and sponsors of electoral violence and other electoral offences committed during the 2023 general elections. Serap Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare disclosed the information to journalists in a statement on Sunday. Recall that INEC had on December 17, 2024, filed a preliminary objection seeking to set aside Justice Ekwatu judgment on the grounds of alleged misrepresentation, non-disclosure, and concealment of material fact. INEC application was brought to challenge the contempt lawsuit brought by Serap against INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu over the Commission's failure to obey July 18, 2024 judgment by Justice Obiaru Ekwatu. The Federal High Court in Abuja has declared the National Youth Service Corps refusal to allow female corps members to wear skirts in observance of the religious beliefs as unconstitutional and a breach of the fundamental right to freedom of religion. In a judgment delivered on June 13, 2025, a certificate true copy of which was cited on Sunday, Justice Hawa Yiwa held that the NYC enforcement of trousers and the only acceptable uniform for the female participant violated the constitutionally guaranteed right to freedom of religion and human dignity. The cases initially filed separately by former corps members Ogunjobi Blessing and Oyuba Vivian were later consolidated due to their legal similarities and adjudicated together by Justice Yiwa. Nigerians have been urged to guard against excessive intake of salt in order to minimize the prevalent rate of cardiovascular and associated health challenges. Medical expert in Benin City made the call while reacting to the effect of excessive salt intake by the people. EBS Abiawese Ogogo brings details from the medical expert.
Generally used as preservatives and taste enhancer, but when consumed excessively, it can be injurious to the body. Medical experts Solomon Ekwabasimi and Esegbe Ifama shed light on the effects of excessive intake of salt.
Salt is like the mineral that sustains life for everybody, because without salt, the food is tasteless. Excess salt we know is made up of mainly sodium chloride, but sodium is actually the main ingredient. Excessive salt intake, according to World Health Organization, the salt intake should be less than 5 grams per day, and that means a little below a teaspoon of salt. When one takes over 5 grams per day, that is what we categorize as excessive salt intake. Now, the effect of excessive salt intake, first and foremost, it can lead to edema. Edema means swelling of the legs. It can lead to palpitation. Palpitation, as it does in heart, it can lead to excessive thirst. It can also lead to, it can be felt that as one of the clinical causes of hypertension.
The body has a daily amount of salt that we can consume as adults, and this is 2,000 milligrams of sodium, approximately 5 grams of table salt, and it's approximately a level teaspoon of salt that an adult should be getting per day because of the health consequences of excessive salt intake. The advice on our clients and patients is that they should not have added table salt, meaning that after a meal has been prepared, they should not start adding salt to that food. And if you follow the guidelines of a teaspoon of salt for an adult a day, then I'm sure it will be good. Because excess salt makes water to be retained in the tissues and causes the blood pressure to be elevated.
Certain examples of certain food components that have natural high salt content, the medical practitioners have this to say.
It contains calcium chloride, which actually will discourage a pregnant woman to take because they abuse it. Because in pregnancy, when you see the need arises after examination, we place a pregnant woman on calcium.
Chairman Mohammed Aruna has reiterated his administration's commitment to building a local government devoid of filthiness and improving the proper sanitary condition of the council area. The Owan East Council boss was speaking while supervising and monitoring this month's environmental sanitation exercise across the 11 wards in the local government area. The report is presented from our studios.
East Council boss Mohammed Aruna expressed satisfaction over the impressive turnout of the residents in the mud sanitation exercise, attributing the success to the ultimate campaign carried out by the Council Environmental Health Department. Mohammed Aruna said his administration will continue to prioritize the health and well-being of residents of Owan East Local Government Council. The council board supervised the evacuation of refuse in Afuzi Market, Otuo, and other places to the refuse dump approved by the local government to avoid indiscriminate disposal of waste. Department, Owan East Local Government Council, Mrs. Mara Abubai, commended the council boss for providing materials and resources to fast-track the sanitation exercise. Mrs. Abubai said the environmental department has intensified efforts on sensitizing residents on the need to clean up their environment as a major step to avoid disease outbreak. The exercise also witnessed the setting of drainage in Iyaro and Everons.
Christian faithful have been charged to use the talent God gave to them usefully to the glory of God and to the benefit of fellow humans. That charge was given by the founder and president of the Habitation Church of God International, Reverend Olu Aderibibe, when he delivered a sermon titled, "Well Done, You Faithful Servant." A report is presented from our studios.
The clergyman observed that life itself is a loan from God, and that each person must surely pay back when the time comes. Reverend Aderibibe told the congregation to be rapture ready by constantly being in a state of righteousness, because no one knows when the Master will come to take account of the talents and the loan of life he has given to Christians. The man of God who was preaching at the Thanksgiving service for late Pastor Sunday Efosa Oni reminded the people that no matter how long it may be, the owner of life will ask for it, and as mortals, Christians cannot but give back to the owner who is the Almighty God. Reverend Aderibibe asked believers to shun anything that can disqualify or deny them entrance into the kingdom of God, where there is everlasting joy. He said, like the faithful servants of the parable of talents, Christians should invest in the propagation of the gospel of salvation so that they can be called into the eternal joy of heaven.
The Lord said,
some of our top stories. We report to you the many feathered as boat capsized in Niger State. Governor Monday Okpebholo to commence the commissioning of completed projects across the state. And mixed reactions of trade representatives bill barring Nigerian officials for private education. At that end, the news as edited by Justin Ekong. I am Belema Ekirika. Good morning.